a AP. Happy and you know it's a AP.
What's good? It's AP. One in a billion, and I'm back. Guys, today I just want to talk about being a parent. Being a parent, being a father. It's one of the greatest things in my life. When I was 11 years old, I became a nephew. Let's switch that. When I was 11 years old, I became an uncle. And I had my first nephew. And when my first nephew was born, on one end, I felt like he was like a younger brother to me. But as he continued to, grow, I felt like I was a father figure to him. Not only a father figure, but he made me want to have children. And I said to myself, just because I saw that I wanted to have children, or I knew I wanted to be a dad, I knew I wasn't going to just become a father to just anybody. What I'm saying is I didn't want to just have a child with just any woman just to have a child. So it took years and years for me to find the right woman in Dangerous Diva who would be the perfect mom to bear my children. And I found her, not only bear my children, but be my wife, you know what I mean? Because I wanted my children to have a healthy home, to have a stable home, a home where they can grow, flourish, be confident because their parents are there for them. Their parents love each other. I just wanted a great environment for my children. So after getting married, we had our first child, J-Funk, Jamal Jr. So once J-Funk was born, from that day forward, man, I just felt like I went to a whole nother level in life because I now had a junior. I now had this responsibility that I never had before, but one that I always wanted, which was to become a dad. So I named my son J-Funk the first day he was born. I spent all the time I could with him. I stayed at home and, just taught him different things. And he began to, take those skills that I taught him and began to use them at a young age. I remember starting a channel for him when he was 1 year old. I remember having videos of him. He was on camera at Hollywood events with me when he was just a couple months old. He was in the recording studio with me with all kind of celebrities when he was just a couple months old. I was so happy to have this child. So by the time he turned 3 years old, he started making videos himself. Not by himself. I'm making the videos, but he started making videos too. And instantly, he started reaching the world. In addition to that, I play sports. So my son started playing sports. He's carved a name for himself in sports. It's just a great feeling that when I bring my son to a baseball field, the coaches, the players, everybody knows him and they respect his game. It's a great feeling when I bring my son to a basketball tournament, a league or whatever. The coaches, the referees, the players, they all know my son. The parents, they all know my son. So it's a great feeling to be a father, to be a dad that's active with his child, and to see your child sharing some of the characteristics that you have. And, I always was good in sports. I always was talented. It feels great having a child that's like that. So every day I am just enjoying the journey of being a parent, of being a dad, and, sometimes though, it's not that easy. Me coaching my son, it's not an easy thing. It's not easy to coach your child and be the person who is critiquing and always criticizing someone to help them get to another level, especially when that's your child. I would rather be on the sidelines just watching and just cheering him on. I want to celebrate him all the time. But when you're the coach, you don't get to celebrate because you're trying to bring the best out of that person. So, sometimes I don't want to coach him. I almost didn't coach him just now in the leagues that he's playing in, and he asked that I did coach him. And my biggest thing is I just want my child, to get as much opportunity as possible. So, I put him in positions to succeed and hope that he'll do his best. So I'm just trying my best to be there for my child the best that I can. And all I say is there's no perfect way to raise your children. Do the best that you can. Get as much help and support from others as you can. And, have a heart. You know what I mean? This is someone made in your image and likeness. This is someone who has your DNA. And, I believe my DNA is special. My DNA produces greatness. I'm talking about my oldest son, J-Funk, in this video. But I have another awesome son as well, Miracle Baby Josiah. And we'll talk about Miracle Baby Josiah in the next video. But just a little more about J-Funk. Like I said, he's a people's person. He's a happy child, a positive person, someone that's a pleasure to be around. He's a good-looking guy, handsome guy. All the girls like him. People want to be around him. He's the life of the party. I see him with adults and grown-ups. They admire this kid. They want to be around him. Me and my son, we talk about business often, and he has great business ideas, great vision. So, I try to give him everything in this world. But you know what? Sometimes that's not right. I'm learning as a parent. I gave him a gaming PC, Xbox, every toy, Nintendo Switches, the list goes on. I'll get him whatever. I feel like he deserves it. Not only is he a great kid, but he's a great listener. And, he started making video content, and he started reaching millions of viewers on his videos. So I said, let me reward him. Let me get him different stuff. And then he gets featured on Nickelodeon. He gets featured in commercials, Oreo commercials, and, just different stuff. Let me reward my child. Companies come and they say they want to sponsor my son, who I remember the day he was born, who I want him to be something great. And companies, they see the greatness in my child too. It feels great. But sometimes you can overwhelm a person and give them too much too fast. And I gave him everything, and I noticed that he began to really just enjoy all of the fruits of his labor, and he didn't want to put no more labor in. So I had to take his gaming PC that I built from him because he was spending all his time on his gaming PC. It was hard to do that because here's something I gave him because I felt like he deserved it. But to take it away was terrible. It's a terrible feeling. I've had to take away his Xbox from him because he got stuck playing video games. So it's not always fun being a parent, being a dad, being a father. But you got to do the right thing, and you have to assess a situation and see, how can I be a better parent? What can I do to bring the best out of my child? Sometimes giving a child everything is not always the answer. So my son, he has cell phones. Now I don't give him cell phones no more. He now is at a stage where I'm teaching him how to be responsible and do things for himself, earn things for himself. Ben had him doing certain things like taking the trash out and all that since he's about 5 years old. I taught him how to cook when he was like 4 or 5 years old. I'm letting him use the stove. And now here it is, about 7 years later, he can cook. That boy can cook, and he's learned how to be independent. But sometimes, like I said, you give a child too much, and it's just too much too fast. So now that I've slowed him down on certain things, he has created his own TikTok channel. You know, unfortunately, he's lost 2 other siblings at different times. 8 years ago, he lost one sister, Kyra, and just recently, he lost another sister, Shamila. And that's something tough and terrible for a young child to go through. But rather than use his energy negatively, I told him to be creative and to do something creative. And, you know, his mom is great too. I really didn't play a part into this next thing until I saw it happening. But he talked with his mom, and he decided that he would start a Fidget Bros, a channel on TikTok dedicated to him playing with fidget toys. Now, he began to play with these fidget toys because it's a way to relieve stress while, you know, he's coping through losing his sister. So he starts playing with his fidget toys. He starts making videos, and of course, me and his mom, we run media companies. So we do marketing, we do media, video production, the whole 9. So we direct our son. We give him pointers on how he can improve this and that. But he's running his own thing. Him and his twin, his Fidget Bro twin, my godson. So they created a channel called Fidget Bros 2021, and in just 2 weeks, they have over 50,000 followers. They have videos with like 500,000 views on TikTok. I think they got over 120,000 likes on their TikTok. I'm proud of my boy. I'm proud of you. Son, I'm proud of you, because anything you want to do, anything you put your mind to, you can achieve it, and you're proving it. So I just want my son to know how much that I love him, and I'm proud of you. Keep pushing, keep doing great things, and never let nothing stop you. Be relentless, be desperate. Daddy's proud of you, my boy. P, 1 in a billion, and I'm out.
Happy and you know it's a AP. Happy and you know it's a AP.